Welcome back, everybody, to Losers Round 4. So, in this bracket, taking 2 losses would mean that you're out, and in the losers bracket, you've already lost once. So, one of these teams will be packing their bags. But we are seeing the clown pause for a second, and I've completely forgotten to introduce that we're in Blood Rush League Season 2. So, Clown in the Coal Tower, as we see G take the first responsibility for Decay's pick of the Clown, which we do see some interesting perks. I think we did see a couple of clowns before bring some variety. Like I remember Metox bought Noed specifically, but I've definitely seen Noed more. So Jiggy's build here is a little bit more strange, as we do see him check Edge 7, but not find anyone, and we do see a miss-skill check actually on this top gen. It's a little bit strange, but it does happen sometimes as you're leaving the gen. We do see 2 survivors rotate off the gen, immediately dropping this eye filler. Does our Yui here, and actually our clown will decide to break and just head towards main. I think that was live used on the Yui, but a really nice bottle onto the main will slow her down, and actually head on will occur onto Jiggy now. So now taking the aggro off the light survivor, and Jake here will be taking the next chase, and I think he'll get tagged here. He won't have enough distance, as the green either vol or the bleach will slow his movement down by an extra 2%. So Jake taking the tag, still running main. I think it's going to be still pretty strong for the survivors here as those doors are up. So I think Jiggy is willing to spend a little bit of time trying to remove the resource, but actually no, just deciding to hold the W and commit to Jake here, trying to get a bottle on, but only now does he get a bottle onto the Jake. So Jake now will fast forward back out of Shack, but decides to greed this filler here, and it will pay off for him as he gets the pre-drop safely, and they actually save Volt into the perhaps main building pallet, but no, does not decide to take it, as we do see the first gen. It will be a pretty good start for the survivors, I'd say, as Jake goes down near main. As Jiggy deciding to reload and take the first pickup of the entire trial. I think we're going to see him drag this down to mid. As we do see, this gen here is pretty high progress. And yes, we do see the first pain res of the trial. Sorry, I just had to move locations really quickly. First pain res hitting that generator, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Or perhaps not, actually, because they're not sparks flying off it. So Jiggy here just wants to control the area, using the hill as a nice vantage point to gain line of sight on the survivors, and actually does manage to find the bottom generator here at 7. So decides to kick it for eruption. The extra 10% if the down occurs before the gen pops will make it a little bit more difficult for the survivors to pressure the gen. But yeah, I think Jiggy's happy to hold this this hook here, as these 2 gens are pretty highly progressed, and finding another 2 survivors here around here and taking a nice free tag onto the Yui. I think they'll want to use this extra haste from the rapid brutality just to make it back to hook, to make sure no one's going in for a last second trade, which I don't think they would want to do anyway, since you're not really accomplishing much, as the pain resonance would come in again, hitting this this generator setup, and you're kind of forced to waste all of that time that you put into the generators before to let it regress towards 0. So I think Survivor here will just hit the second stage, as we do see Shack pop the second generator of the trial. And no signs of life here, but we do see the injured Yui take the Shack pallet, and our clan nicely breaking it. But now deciding to leave, using the yellow bottle perhaps to get back to the hook, trying to punish a trade if possible, but no signs of life just yet from any of our survivors apart from the Yui, which we just saw at around 5, and that will mean that the main generator pops. So actually something you haven't really talked about as the perk choice for the survivors. So I think I did see at the start of the trial we did have somebody on the balanced landing, and on Coal Tower that's a really strong perk to have, because you're allowed to work the main generator pretty much for free. So Ace does come in here from nowhere and decide to go for a trade onto Jake, who is going to be in the second hook, but immediate FTP going to come in from the Yui will secure that if the clown decides to chase, will not necessarily be a long chase, sorry, a short chase, since he has that extra health state. So I think he's just happy to do exactly the same thing as before, and just hold this area but now he has to push out just a little bit more, it seems, as he's pushing out just towards 2 to try and perhaps get an eruption kick. But no, we do see Yui pre-drop this sea filler and actually just part away back into the wilderness of the TL and use that light to make it back down towards Shaq. As you can see, there's absolutely no generators there whatsoever. So Jiggy will just leave, and very unfortunate timing there for our killer as the unhook just does occur. So we're kind of not really that many hooks in to this trial. Only 3 hooks have been achieved by our clown here, but it's really not a game where you're going to be expecting to have high hook stages, especially without no-ed, because with the exhaustions allowed, you can really gain so much more distance over the clown and make it towards ideal spots of the map where you want to chase, like that Nia did attempt to try and make it towards that shack corner, but was not able to, thanks to the purple bottles. So we do see 2 survivors here, doubling, I think, this generator, not deciding to reset yet, as the pallet does finally get broken. You here, I don't think we'll have the exhaustion back. Yeah, we do see the live brain not being used there, so I think they're going to be having this chase cut short pretty promptly as the bottle does reach back onto Yui. But Ace tries to come in for body block, but it won't be successful, as I don't know what happened there, but a clown butterfly knife managed to just reach past our Ace there and take the down onto the Yui, securing that eruption, I think, on that 2 generator. And that will mean it just gets regressed slightly more, and as the final pain resonance of the trial does come in. So actually, for the 4th hook, I think, no, the 5th hook that our killer has achieved, I think this is pretty good progress. But from here on, without that no-ed in the back pocket for Jiggy, it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to try and achieve more stages. I think if our survivors play right, reset this injury, and pre-leave this top region, I think it should be fine for them. As we do see our Ace here proccing the sprint burst just around this sea wall fillers, and actually deciding to run back up the top side. I don't really know if that was a play, since this is where the 3-gen is, so you don't really want to be dying in 3-gen. Doesn't really matter what killer you're going to be playing. But Ace actually deciding to go for pallet vault fake, and unfortunately will go down on the second try of the pallet. The unhook will come in exchange for this hook on the top side here, and Jiggy just deciding where to hook, and will settle on this shallow 1 hook. So Jiggy's still in a pretty happy place, I think. Survivors do need to try and get the resets going in from these 2 injuries, which have been applied throughout this trial, as you don't really want to be sending in survivors to work generators in this kind of big dead zone injured, especially against a clown, which will pretty much force you to not go anywhere, and you'll just go down in the matter of seconds. So we do find the reset here on 4 though, and I think our Jake will try and take the hit. But actually no, our Jake vaults the pallet instead, and judges correctly about the distance, as the unhook does occur in the distance. But the chase will be cut short, as we do know these 2 survivors here on the top side are injured. So perhaps there's a path for Jiggy to get it down here back in the 3-gen, but we do see another survivor running away. I think that was a healthy survivor. I wasn't entirely sure there. It's a little bit difficult to see with my laptop resolution. So Jiggy still knows that the 2 survivors around main, and spots one of them, Deathhook Ace and the Nia as well, running with him. And there shouldn't be any head-on available for our survivors, as Jiggy does go for a swing and a miss onto our Ace there. I think perhaps expecting the same result from before, but luckily for our survivors that won't be the case, as Nia is picked up, and that will be the 2nd or the 3rd survivor actually now going to be on the death hook. So only our Yu here will be first hook, as I think they'll manage to take a tag here on this 4 tile. So yeah, I don't know, the survivors are making very minimal progress, even though they're 4 in the trial. I'm not really entirely sure how this is happening, but I feel like our survivors really should have gotten those resets in and been a little bit more proactive on that, because and now with this continuous cycle of downs happening in this 3-gen, it's going to be again just going to be settled back to the situation before, except with an additional survivor on the death hook instead, as we do see scratch marks around this 9. Perhaps our survivors were going for a double reset here, but seems like we do find our ace here. Death hook, just trying to loop this jungle gym, and we'll make the vault, but I don't know if he'll be able to make anything else as he goes for a medium vault into our clown. So it will be the first kill of the match, I believe, as the 9 hook is taken. So yeah, survivors now again still in a pretty endless loop, it seems, as this final generator is just struggling to be completed. As yeah, I don't know, our survivors just needed to stay out of that topside 3 gen, as our near here will be going down yet again. Securing yet, I think, another kill for Jiggy. So now in the 2v1, perhaps they're even looking towards a potential 4k1, which I think we've never even seen on a clan set. I think out of maybe the 2 or 3 clan sets, we've all seen outs, but we do see the double of the final generator occurring, securing that 4k0. I think our survivors will be pretty unhappy with this, I would say, because clan, you're looking towards more of like an 8-stage performance or 7-stage performance with Noed. I remember maybe even less because of the exhaustions allowed, which is again a really huge deal, as this little bit of back and forth is occurring onto our survivors. So we do see you here pre-dropping this jungle gym, and actually Jiggy swinging for it and landing the hit. So I think our Jake is gonna have to play for this 3 gate, as our Jiggy is aware of it, and we'll use a yellow bottle just to check the gate. We do see one red bar flashing, so we know the Jake's around here, but it's just a matter of time, I think, before we find him. But he does have head on, remember, so he might be in the lockers just nearby, and Jiggy would have absolutely no idea if that was the case, and it seems like he's completely bamboozled by where this Jake could have been. And I think perhaps Jiggy, you should have been paying attention from before. Oh, baiting the head on, actually. Oh, so good awareness there, actually checking the locker, but not finding any survivor in the locker. So I guess Jiggy deciding to check the locker last. Also a good idea, since, you know, if you're in the locker, you're not going to move from the locker. But if you're not in the locker, you check the locker, then there's a potential that the survivor moves to a better stealthing location further away from the point of interest. So Jiggy, talking about the point of interest, will lose interest in the point of interest and head back to the slug, perhaps trying to catch this Yui off guard. But it seems like they've completely disappeared. I think before we did see a tenacity on one of the survivors, but I'm not sure if it was the Yui. So it might have zoomed away over towards a different corner of the map, and Jiggy here might be in a little bit of trouble because he's completely lost all bits of information to where any of the 2 survivors could possibly be. So he's just going back and forth until a precipitate action is taken on whether it's going to be the gate or the pickup on the down survivor, or perhaps maybe even the bleed out, or maybe we'll see a trauma tech actually occurring in this game, but I would be pretty surprised if that would be the case. But as that bleed out timer does tick down towards the bleed out 0 seconds, we'll just have to be wondering, maybe that's on the mind. But no, we do see the pickup occur onto the UE, so no trauma tech, unfortunately, for the fans, but at least this game will progress a little bit more instead of waiting to 2 minute remainder of the bleed out to just fall down. So 2 survived in the trial, they said just to go, has absolutely no idea where any of the survivors are. So even with this 9 here, perhaps this might even be the end of the set and the end of the amount of hooks that Jiggy could get here, because our survivors are just playing this extremely slowly and patiently. Jiggy not really being able to capitalize on anything, because he doesn't know where any of the survivors are. And yeah, just having a quick check there, and I guess Crows confirmed that perhaps they're just in the map. So we'll just head back to the 12 gate and shuffle back to the 9 gate after having a little bit of a peep. And I feel like our survivors here do need to get a little bit of a move on, since starting to tick down towards like the no action timer, which I'm pretty sure they might perhaps get penalized if they're not sticking a gate. But we do see the gate finally does hit that second bar, so we know a survivor is committing this gate. It is our dead on hook Jake Park as our clan decides to try and mind game this 5 tile and push him away. Perhaps they've been hearing the footsteps, but now they're completely disappeared and still inside the tile. But Jiggy really does want to zone them as much as possible and does finally manage to get the bottle hit as Yui does open the other gate. And Jiggy does decide now to try and body block the hatch. But now it's a little bit of a strange scenario since Jake might manage to make the hatch from this position. And it seems like, no, it won't be enough. So 10 stages on the clown will be achieved for DK's pick. So I think pretty solid result, above average, and we'll have to see what Rapture can do for the clan set of the Gold Tower 1 as we head to a short intermission. Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of our first set of the clown here. DK managing to achieve 10 stages 4 fresh in the previous trial. So we will be seeing... Oh, I cannot read that name. on the Chicken Man, actually, the legendary Chicken Man killer. Taking the chase on the bottom side, but Nia, fortunately, won't really be able to make anything else from this, so we'll just head back towards Shack. A little bit zoned here, but they do have pretty good RNG with the Shack pallet and eye filler, which, of course, well, the Shack pallet always spawns, but the eye filler not always, so... that Shack will just go down instantly, and this eye filler will now get pre-dropped here as we do see this chase continues. But Clan here not really deciding to throw any bottles, so this chase will just prolong for a little bit as the pallet is broken. And the reload will come in now. I guess I didn't pay attention to how many bottles they had remaining, as that's why they didn't throw any before. So with 6 bottles now in hand, 1 just used, I feel like this Neo should be going down pretty quickly with only a Shack window and a double vault to use. But, very nice double vault, and actually shift tech that Ania's taken here, and actually will be able to juke out this swing here, getting the check spots on that Shack window. I guess will prolong this chase even more, which is such a big deal. I think every second you get is crucial as they do finally go down on the 5 tile, but we do see the generator pop in the distance, so immediate response from our survivors here, completing that generator for that first chase, which I think was pretty exceptional for the for the specific setup they had. So they'll take a basement hook. However, this will mean no pain res, as only Monstrous Shrine will be able to convert basement hooks into Scourge hooks, as we do see a survivor rotating off the 7 gen here, perhaps wanting to play this little C pallet, whatever you decide to call it, and immediately throw it down just to preserve this health state for a little bit longer. Of course, using the resources first against low tier killers is ideal, and then after you've popped a lot more gens, then you can use health states as a resource, as we do see Nia here getting body blocked at the Shack, but Ace is here to save the day, take the hit, so Nia will make the Shack window. I feel like our clan here does want to try and tunnel out Nia here, as the pain res still has not been applied. They'll be able to make the swing onto this pallet, and not being able to drop it is a big deal, as the pickup will occur and no pallet save will be attempted. The Scourge Hook pain res will still not actually be in the trial yet, as we do see another gen pop in the distance, I think. I'm really paying attention to that. The Scourge Hook pain res, though, is on the 4 stacks still available, so we still can get 1 more pain res from our Dead on Hook survivor, which is ticking away. That 70 seconds will eventually taper down to 0 if no one comes in. As Jiggy here, I think we did see him use the spin burst, playing the fan last match, and actually the down will occur onto Jiggy, and the slug will follow, as we do see on here. Dropped his eye filler safely. I don't really think that much. I don't think that was the play, Nia. You lost so much distance. I feel like there was no real reason to do so. You could have just ran to the Voc filler perhaps and pre-dropped that. That would have been much safer, I think, as our clan goes for a reload. See scratch marks, so knows someone is around for the potential pallet save. We did see blood there as well, so it's our ace Visconti. And the pickup does occur onto Jiggy now, so damn, I feel like the 10 stage result now slipping away. Even though this pain res is not being used on the survivor, we have a death of 3 gens. Just really, really fast for a clan set, I would say, especially since I don't think there are many other generators with high progress as our survivor here does play the Xeno pallet standoff, but or maybe it's a V1 pallet standoff. But yeah, will manage to pull it off and perhaps part their way to victory, but I don't think really they have that many resources left. Already the spin burst exhausted, so they'll just be going down on the edge map of 10. And yeah, I think drag back towards this 9 hope. That's what it looks like as our third generator of the trial will pop. Hopefully this will be a painless for the killer. It'd be a shame not to see a single usage. And we do see that tick down towards 3 stacks. So yeah, pain res applied to a generator somewhere. We do try and find our Salting Survivor. We'll successfully get the unhook, but will come with the cost of a singular health state. And I think this will just be their immediate down, since they have, again, absolutely no resources available to them. No fillers on 9 available, so could not make any distance whatsoever. And actually, our clan hero decides to slug, maybe understanding the situation and looking at the health states and the HUD, seeing that both survivors are still injured, no resets are happening. So, yeah, now perhaps they can go for a little bit of a slugging spree and try and secure a 4K2, which is pretty incredible on clan, I'd say. As the pallet drop will come safely from Nia. That's not Nia, that's Claudette with Spin Burst. Sorry, my bad. Still thinking about the Nia from last night. And the chase will resume on 5 on the 5 tower here, but with nothing safe. You see that second double vault and get swung through and hit. So yeah, we'll just be going down again. Really nothing you could do there as the survivor, as the reset does occur in the distance onto a Dwight. So not be surprised if the ace was to get reset within the next second or two. We do see that in the UI confirming that our ace is now back into the healthy state and G is on the hook now, approaching the second death of the trial. So I think our killer is in a really comfortable spot here, looking towards a 4K on the clan. The Jeffrey Hawk Kenneth Chase alias, whatever it was, getting a 4K on the cold tower. It's pretty nuts, honestly, as we do see this generator at 2 pop here. Perhaps our ace will try and live path and will be kind of successful, but the bottle, I think, did kind of manage to tag him, I think. So we'll be losing a lot of speed there and take the tag off the live. So unhook will occur back in the basement. It seems like our final survivor here is nowhere to be seen, perhaps playing the sprint burst and will not really be able to pull it off. So just be going down yet again in the basement. So 4K1, guys. That's what it's looking like, which is greater than 4 stages. I think, again, 4K1 still is an insane result. Oh my god, what is this 3-gen actually around the shack area? I don't think it's possible for our survivors to do anything here. We do see Dwight doing a little bit of spinning and moonwalking. I'm expecting that the game is over. Rapture taking this back from what I thought was a pretty good win condition from Decay's killer, now responds with a 4K1 from the set that they didn't even pick. So kind of like taking that set from Decay, and they'll be heading into their pick with that advantage of the 1-up in this best of 3. So yeah, well played to Rapture here to secure that. Again, 4K1, very, very impressive result on the clan. So, hello. Sorry, you just stopped for a second. Maybe the network would have disconnected. But yeah, 4K1, very solid result. As I think we'll be heading into our next set, which will be Rapture's Nemesis. Very interesting choice there, but we'll be heading into that after a short intermission. Hello, everyone. We are back with the Nemesis. Hello. That is actually a killer that we have in the league. I don't think I've ever seen this killer played in a real competitive match, but it seems like Vion here will merely take the first infection of the match with the T-Virus. That's really important, trying to secure the first tentacle whip of the match, since it will really greatly accelerate the rate of which you kind of chew through all the pallets and especially in main, just the breakable walls. As we do see Vion just immediately leave this, trying to look edge map perhaps for Survivor, but not really getting info. I'm not really sure why he did that. He could have just easily committed for the tier 2 onto Ace. I think the last time I saw Nemesis ever being played was on a Hens video. It was like top tier Nemesis versus top tier Pyramid Head, and it was pretty clear Pyramid Head is much better than Nemesis. But we do take the whip onto the zombie here, and unfortunately Marvin's Blood will not be able to secure that tier 2. But Vion going for a nice drag, unfortunately going into nothing. He actually does manage to make that whip over the Shack pallet and decides to break it with the tier 2. So this is a really good start from Vion. Only 90 seconds off the corrupt, and I think with this pretty solid tier 2 with this survivor zone here as well, I think he can be looking towards getting that first down pretty soon, as this is the infected Jeff, so he should just be taking a whip to the back and should really be followed up a pretty fast down. But Jeff deciding to play the short side of this pallet. Been trying to drag yet again, will not pay off for him, so I think he really needs to start playing a little bit more safe here, because he just needs to try and get this down rather than go for anything fancy. But actually will be able to make that whip there, so I feel like Jeff might have been able to crouch, but that's really good awareness from you on this wheelbarrow pallet, as the first down of the match will occur, and it will be a basement hook, it seems. Agitation will be able to secure that basement hook from much further away, but because it's the basement hook yet again, we don't have that pain resonance, and we do see the zombie here walking towards the generator, and unfortunately the generator popped before we can apply that Mr. Weasel perk we have on the top right. But we did actually see Ace take a zombie tag there, which is really strange, because I think that means you're just not paying attention or something. Like, I don't know how you take a zombie tag in comp, but alright, it's fine. Maybe we will make mistakes, as Leon just decides to chew through a few more of the breakable doors, and we'll spot out, I think, our Ace there, trying to get the rescue onto Jeff in the shack. And by the way, actually, Jeff in comp, come on, man, who plays Jeff in comp? That's just disrespect. Anyway, I think our Jeff here will just have to hit the second stage here, because survivors need to be trying to get more generator pressure for this hook in the basement, as our Nemesis is camping. Don't really want to be sending anyone in, but you do see scratch marks around the carriage again, so someone is around here trying to secure that unhook, but it won't really be able to occur because it just shouldn't have enough time as the main generator pops in response for survivors. So that was probably Ace taking that main generator, and near here, so that means that there's like Claudette perhaps on the unhook scenario, but maybe I've doubled up on survivor. So yeah, and yeah, taking the next chase perhaps. Avion here does want the tier 3 and will be achieved here, as the Nia takes a nice little drag on this pallet. So Avion really showing what he can do, but I feel like these drags are a little bit predictable, and I feel like Decay could have perhaps avoided some of these, as Ace here will be found on this 7 gen. Scratch marks will be found at the shack, so the unhook should be going very shortly. I feel like our survivors have managed to apply just enough gen pressure at the current moment to perhaps, make this unhook work. But I think this whip here through the window will secure the down, since that 10 seconds of borrowed time ran out. So this is a kill of 3 gens with Mr. Nemesis, and that's not really not really something I would have guessed from this is. That kill happening, I would just have to assume that the other generators have really good progress on, as we haven't really seen this Claudette for a very long time. I'm just gonna assume that gen pops very soon. And just trying to get the tag over the pallet. It will be successful, Ace not really being able to crouch there in time, so we're trying to go for another tentacle whip. Instead we'll just break the pallet there, so our Ace is gonna be zoned anyway. We'll be taking it down just at the edge map near his high progress generator, but actually we'll manage to take the vault and double vault. Waste a little bit of time there. Yeah, he's gonna eventually go down on the 9 edge, get hooked just right next to his generator. So hopefully for Vion it's gonna be a pain resonance, as you do need to try and get those going in the trial, and we do see that tick down. So yeah, it is the pain resonance applied, and it's probably going to be that generator on the 2 tile. That would be my guess. And we still have 3 generators left, so kind of insane how slow these gens are going. And yeah, we do confirm that the gens are really going slow from the unhook, because that means that that unhooker really couldn't have been on a gen So yeah, Claudette's gen just in the background does pop at 2. That Pain Resonance really coming in clutch, giving that a little bit of extra slowdown onto the gen. Rion does pursue Scavenge Pallet and tries to do a little bit of mind game, but Ace is a little bit aware of that and does manage to get a drop off onto his pallet. But I think he'll be going down here because he's really got nothing to break this Nemesis Tentacle Whip and try and break the the junk, try and break the length or the height of the junk. Whatever, I'm yapping. As Ace does go into hook and the zombies are spawning near the hook, so Bjorn just does want to tactically take them out, try and respawn them, maybe closer towards the generators. You do see this gen actually on pretty high progress, approaching the 70 mark, but Pop will take 20% of the current progress of that. So now it's probably on around 50%. You see the unhook and the what? Claudette? Hello? Claudette? I'm not sure if that was a play. I can't lie there. Yondo, I guess, just takes it for free and finds an additional survivor for it. I don't really know why we really want to go for the tentacle whip there. You could really just go for an M1. It's kind of better in this scenario. But yeah, we are now kind of missing 2 whips, and we'll finally manage to secure this second whip on the Nia, and they don't really have much to go with, so you see a little bit of a whip standoff as the tier 3, little bit of extra range will secure that down there. And 4K2, man, that's kind of insane results from Rapture's side. So yeah, man, Decay kind of need to step it up because the Nemesis 4K, come on, man. First set of the Nemesis I'm casting 4K, come on. You gotta apply some more pressure, survivors, because I feel like 4K should really not be occurring on this map at all. But yeah, Ace, only survivor being standing, does go down with the whip there. You're landing that, so secures a pretty clean 4K2, I guess. Perhaps a bleed out might matter here, but 4K2 again, very impressive result I think on the Nemesis. This map I feel like should be a much favored map to the survivors, but seems like Ryun made pretty light work with this 4K2 and managed to use his position and pain resonances pretty well. So and getting full value from that. Actually, not full value since we do have 2 back in the pocket, but I um, feel like the positioning of the Jeff for the shack basement also helped a lot. Survivors were really concerned about trying to get the pull onto them, so unfortunately had to give up gen progress for it, and we did see that showing quite a lot. We've only had 3 gens pop this trial, so 4K2 for Ryun. That's going to be said and done for the Nemesis set, so I think we're going to be going just to a short intermission. We get the next match set up. And, yeah, Decay here on the killer side really have to look to something special here because 4K2 is a really tough ask. But yeah, resetting that up just after a short intermission, I guess. This final survivor is just bleeding out on the ground. Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of the Nemesis set. Again, you heard that right. Nemesis set on the Dead Dog Saloon. So we'll be seeing Jiggy here take on the task of trying to achieve a 4K2 result, as I believe that would be a win, as our Nia, I think, was the fresh hook bleed out. So penalty will apply to our survivors there. We do get a nice juke onto the whip from Adam running this weird November day outfit. It will be successful in dodging that tactical whip, as our survivor will not pre-drop the ballot, but pre-drop off this gallows, and Jiggy reading it nicely. I think he will be rewarded with an M2 tag here. The ace here will just decide to vault this window and continue the chase towards the top side of the map with the corrupt dimension. So ideal start for Jiggy here, getting that early tag, but unfortunately missing that angle on the jungle gym. I believe it's the jungle gym anyway. I think now perhaps trying to find the pathing. And, yeah, completely loses all that distance gained from that chase. So we'll just be leaving again, trying to find a survivor. And it seems like we'll find the Nia on this cabbage. I don't think it's going to be safe here, as they do get a little movemented by Jiggy, and that will secure the tier 2. But it will not secure the down just as of now, as here we'll read the Shack palette for a little bit of time. But what is this? Mind game, Nia. Unfortunate little bit of timing there, I guess. Maybe the heartbeat read didn't come in for Nia, so it'll be a pretty early down. I didn't really see the corrupt timer and pay attention to the perks at all, but our Nemesis is only going to be playing with 2 perks in this trial from now on, since the Noah will not be useful for securing this win con. And the corrupt is obviously gone, as we do find our stealthing survivor here. But Jiggy getting 2 really fast tentacle whips onto them. Well, I think secure this down, but no, without the tier 3 will be an extra little bit of distance required before that whip would have been able to hit. So Tiger Hero just will be and Nemesis just swings through the pallet, not even caring, expecting the vacuum, but the vacuum didn't come fast enough. So the unhook will be occurring in the distance. Nemesis does have good pressure here, even with only the pain resonance and ruin. I feel like they will be getting to work, as our survivors really do need to relieve the pressure here. They have two players who are first hook. They also have the injured and infected Nia, who I feel like should be getting a vaccine soon. If that's even allowed, wait, hold on. You know, maybe I'm thinking maybe vaccines aren't even allowed. I'll need to check up on the rule set here, but the reset does occur in the distance. So good for our survivors. They can continue pressuring the generators here, but again, that ruin is going to be eating away at pretty much all of the generators when they're not being worked. So it'll set them back pretty significantly, as I feel like Nemesis will want to try and secure the second stage. They've kind of committed to trying to find a survivor here. So if they just left this, then that unhook might just occur and they lose again a lot of that gen pressure just by walking. Yeah, I mean, the unhook does occur onto Yunjin, and they'll just be throwing that Shack Pilot down, securing that little bit of distance there. And Jiggy will be deciding to leave this, perhaps understanding the distance is a little bit too large at the Shack. No reference killer, but anyway. Anyway, Jiggy, no, actually not deciding to go for unhooked survivor. Sorry, unhooker. The unhook. Yeah, the person who unhooked, and yeah, does find injured Yunjin here, and actually also will find Ace, get a nice little drag onto him as well, curing that infection. I feel like they'll be taking another tag pretty quickly unless they play well. The zombie will help out, as oh my lord, I think our Ace just mega powered out Jiggy here, and with that first generator of the trial popping, things could really snowball out of control here. The more time you just waste, and the more time you have for the survivors to punish. But Yunjin here will be found in the locker, and Jiggy expecting this from Yunjin will just a little bit sidestep the locker, and make sure that head-on comes without any stun. So it'll just be a complete waste of a locker. But we do find, I think, nobody around here again. So Jiggy just kind of rotate towards the 5-star. So I thought I saw someone there, but perhaps it was just like a zombie shadow or something. As final non-infected survivor will be found, and the second generator of the trial will be popped. So I think Jiggy here again still needs to put up a good show here, because only one generator needs to pop to secure pretty much a Tycon. As long as the fresh bleed out doesn't occur. But we do see our Nemesis does want to try and get it down here onto our Tunnel Survivor, but it won't be the case as that whip does miss on the window, so that's very, very unfortunate here. And actually the whip there will also miss on the casino door, which is a really big deal because I think he wanted to open that up just to reduce the distance that they could make it main. So Yunjin just decides the W key away from everything and presses the spacebar, pre-drops that pallet safely, and will make their way to the next pallet, which is Edge Map. I feel like they should be going down soon though, as they've depleted most of the resources around this area. But nice clutch will come in, and hit tank will also come in. But what a hit, man! That was a really impressive hit, as our ace does unfortunately get bypassed here. Perhaps even 2-tap, because they won't even be able to make this pallet. So real mistake here from Rapture survivors here. Perhaps playing a little bit overconfident about that hit take and getting punished by it, as and we do find our third survivor around this area getting whipped as well. And all these injuries have been coming in. That's 4 injuries in like 30 seconds, which is a lot, man. And this pickup will occur onto Ryun, pretty much securing the kill. So they kill 3 gens, man. Maybe Jiggy can pull this back, but we do see final another generator pop. Survivors do need to try and pop another generator for the win con, as they did get a penalty for the fresh bleed out that occurred on, I think, the Nia last trial. So they do need to get one more gen done, and that might be a little bit of an ask for the balancing Nemesis has. He's only B tier killer, and B tier killers are you're not allowed that many good perks on them, so going to be pretty difficult to push through these gens. And we see Nia is going to be sticking to gen, and Gabriel is going to be sticking around for the unhook. But our zombie here is kind of attracted to something, and we did see them try and walk towards the edge map, so I'm not sure what that was about. And anyway, it doesn't matter though. Jiggy here be holding the mid map, trying to find any signs of life, as I think our ace will be forced to hit the second stage. You kind of have to sacrifice this stage just for the gen progress, as Adam is found out and actually might get 2-tapped here. I don't think they have many resources to work with whatsoever. This main battle is not safe at all, and that down does come through, so Jiggy might actually be able to pull this back from what I thought was an unwinnable scenario. Maybe I've underestimated Nemesis, but these snowballs have actually kind of been really critical for the killer side, as Adam does take the first fresh hook, and we do see scratch marks here as I yawn because I'm a little bit tired, and Nia is found out on this jungle gym, so or maybe TL wall, whatever it is, he'll be taking the last chase, and Jiggy does swing through the pallet expecting the vacuum, but I think we'll just get a zombie here to help out, and that'll be the case as Nia just goes down. I'm pretty sure they won't be happy after that one. Being able to secure the win here for Decay. So both teams taking the reverse of the set that was picked, so really nicely done from Jiggy there. I feel like Rapture did make a little bit of a outstanding error in the middle game when 4 survivors or 4 help, but we'll just be heading to a short intermission as we set up the final Hillbilly Decider. Welcome back, everybody, to our final tiebreaker set of the Hillbilly, as we do see our survivors loading in with that no mither, which I do expect from them. This is a really large map, and I feel like the no mither would get really good value from it if you leave it up. You're kind of forced to hook the no mither survivor anyway, so that base kit, infinite unbreakable, is going to really help out. As our survivor here on the Lara takes the stun. Really beautiful timing there. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but it didn't look like a pre-drop, so I think our survivor there was really confident on that, as our Hillbilly decides to leave, try and chase survivor in a little bit of a worse position, and it seems like it'll be the case You do find David here on the no mirror at Shaq, vaulting the window, but Jiggy leaving yet again. Really strange decision not chasing the no mirror, even though you're going to be expecting a DS from the no mirror. No, I think you should chase it because if you don't, then you can't really secure. You kind of have to hook them. If you down them later on when the survivor's on hooking, you can't really secure a tunnel out necessarily. As the Sin car will be nicely parked from Alara, doing some nice juking and crouching. This is always what I love to see. Actually, the finesse coming out, so pretty interesting pick as he does. Break the pallet. I don't think that was intentional. I think they wanted to try and use the Sin car sliding in order to try and do something special. But we'll be taking the M1 onto Jake as he's kind of caught out in the middle here of this car pile setup, and he'll be running towards the far side of the map. And Jiggy will unfortunately bump on the tiles here, so Jake getting a little bit more time. He's only got matchsticks to work with, so I think this will be pretty fast down. Talking about fast down though, actually this down has been really slow as the cutoff timer just expired just shy of the 2-minute mark. So I'm going to be expecting a generator to pop soon, I think, as we haven't seen this ace this entire trial. So if that gen pops, I would not be surprised whatsoever. As the hook on that Jake does come in the first of the trial. He's Obsession, so maybe there's a DS that could be in play. So G will be going back towards the Shack, actually finding David here, but not being able to secure the down as that swing came in a little bit late, and David will be able to drop the Shack house safely. And hold on 1 second. Hillbilly will be going back to the unhook as our first gen of the trial will pop. You see Shaq on really high progress, so I'm going to assume that pops very soon too. And we're just going to be trying to tunnel out our Jake here, but good check spot holding from our Jake will be able to secure that he lives for a little bit longer. And G's kind of forced to break the pallets now. Otherwise, he plays 50s, and playing 50s is not really what you want to do when you try and get the tunnel out as fast as possible. But our Jake, unfortunately, vaults back into the survivor, into the killer, so we'll just be going down and put back on the hook. And second hook for Jake, but for 2 gens, I think that's really good gen progress for our survivors. You do see a few scratch marks around the hook, but not suspicious enough perhaps for Jiggy to take a full investigation into. Just sort of have a little bit of a quick look before, kind of eking away. And we just see our David here trying to play a little bit for the 2 men and taking it down, but I think this will result in an unhook for the survivors as David taking it down there. I feel like Jiggy should have just picked, as you're not really doing anything downing David. No Mither's going to really help out there, but Jake should be dead soon, as we do see the M1 just come in. 10 seconds just expiring, so perhaps... Oh, and the DS actually comes through on the Jake. It was in fact the decisive strike indicated by the obsession bar, as if you have DS, you're going to be more likely to have the obsession. So another generator will pop in the distance, the third of the trial, and Jake is still alive, trying to play for his life, trying to get to the top side, which actually, now I think about it, he should be running the bot side, but at this point you just want your chase to be going as long as possible. You see the safe pre-drop of that junk filler, which is actually a god pallet, and did see some piling here for the Jake as well, trying to make this filler, which will be successful. Gets the pre-drop off, but I think our Hillbilly will be able to make the swing unless the ping is on our survivor's side, and another generator will pop for this, and Jiggy probably not going to be happy with how that's turned out, and he really wanted to try and get the down there, force the 3v1, and you can perhaps go for a little bit more pressure in the end game, but now forced to leave the chase, and forced to, I guess, now switch targets onto the David, as he's kind of the weak link, as he's pretty much always going to be injured the entire trial. Injured or down, whatever, or on hook. So always going to be a little bit of a liability when it comes to that. But again, with Unbreakable, that is a pretty big deal, as we do. So Hillbilly rotate to the bottom mid, but our survivor here does have a pretty safe lock filler, I think. Not in Syndicate, so I can't tell you that rock filler is entirely safe, but I'm sure people have figured it out, especially on Syndicate, how to play that rock filler as Hillbilly. So we'll be seeing the blue chainsaw now, the overdrive, come into play, and the Hillbilly checks the 9,
tries to make sure that this spot from the DC tunnel out Jake here on the gen, but he will be able to dodge nicely and live for a little bit longer, but we'll take the clobber to the back, so he'll be going down and probably slap on the hook. And there's no doubt that these survivors are going to be cranking that last gen out, uh, as they've been given plenty of time to do so. And yeah, we did see that confirmed. Final generator pop in the distance at 1, and Billy here has only been able to secure 3 stages, so it's going to be a little bit of an ask. Sorry, they also hooked David, so 4 stages. It's going to be a little bit of an ask for Hillbilly to try and guarantee a good result for the survivor set to try and meet. So DK here kind of just wants to go for more, trying to find any of the healthy survivors, as they are the fresh survivors, so it'll be worth slightly more points for them. But we just see David again, pesky David, trying to pressure the gate, and Jiggy here will just decide to leave, check the 3 side, predicting someone is there, and there is someone there because the gate just opened. Oh my god, is this a 4-stage result in the Hillbilly? That's crazy, man. Unironically, the lowest stage result that I've seen on Hillbilly came from one of Vion's unfortunate Hillbilly sets. I think he just like returned to Hillbilly after the overdrive and just kept on getting juked by Calamity, so ended up in the 3-stage performance. But 4 stage is no joke whatsoever from our survivor side of Rapture here, because that's an insane performance on the Hillbilly. They'll just be taking the outs, and perhaps this set will be going to them. But 4-stage result is going to be a real ask for DK survivors to be putting in. But yeah, we'll have to go to that after short intermission. Welcome back, everybody. So a little bit of housekeeping, as I would say. This last set of the Hillbilly is not going to be fully played out. So unfortunately, DK have decided to forfeit the Billy set perhaps after the 4-stage win con, which again is extremely difficult on the Hillbilly. So they decided to forfeit, meaning that Rapture takes the victory 2-1, pushing them into the losers bracket 5 and sending DK back out of the tournament. So well played to Rapture there. But me personally, I think the games, they were pretty hectic, and a lot of stuff was going on. I feel like the Killers somehow performed and got some insane stages, so well played to them. But Rapture coming out on top on the Hillbilly set, showing, I guess, who's boss. So GG's to everyone, and that's going to be Losers Bracket 4 completed. We'll be seeing you soon for Losers Bracket 5. I'm seeing that actually right now being set up. So we'll be back with you just in a little bit, I guess. So good night, everyone, wherever you are, and peace out.